Namo Buddhaya Dhamma family. Welcome to another session of Dhamma Espresso. Today I shall be reading from Buddha's Wisdom, 4 True Friends, taken from Samyutta Nikaya 153. A caravan of friends aboard. A mother is a friend at home. A companion in times of need is a good friend time and again. Merits that were done by oneself are the true friends in the next world. Dear Dhamma family, we are well accustomed to this beautiful Buddha image in this particular posture. This is called the Bhumifasa posture. And for those of us who understand Bahasa Malaysia, it's easy. Bhumi as in earth, Fasa as in rasa, literally feeling or touching the earth. And this image of the Buddha touching the earth or feeling the earth is familiar to all of us, as we often will see this image in temples, in our own home, on our family altar, in pictures, on the internet. What does it mean? Here, the allegory, the symbolism is that the Buddha touches the earth, rasa bhumi, asking the earth to bear witness to his lifetime after lifetimes of cultivation, of doing good, of paramis, perfecting all the good, wholesome qualities, so that he, 2,600 years ago, has a mind stream that is ready for full awakening. So, dear Dhamma brothers and sisters, while that might pose a nice story for us, and every time we see this image, we are reminded of that great event on the night of the Buddha's awakening, of what relevance is it to us in our lives? Because that is what the Buddha Dhamma is always about. How is it going to be utilized in your life, in your daily practice, in your work, in your cultivation? Dear Dhamma family, I hope you realize that you too, you and me, every one of us, also touch the earth, feel the earth, every time we prostrate. Every time you pay homage to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, every time you pay homage to that icon of an image or a picture that represents the Buddha, we touch the earth. We too are calling the earth to bear witness to our cultivation. With that realization, your prostration every morning or every evening or every time you walk into a center becomes very powerful. It's not just a ritual. Rites and rituals, in all honesty, are only good for people who need it. Beyond that psychological support, rites and rituals do not serve much purpose. It's not going to make you enlightened. But when you understand what that rites or rituals is going to do in your life, it becomes something that is truly supportive. So that rite of prostration now becomes your gesture of Bhumifasa, your gesture of similarly touching the earth and calling the earth to bear witness to all the good, all the cultivation, all the paramis that you are attempting to achieve. Dear Dhamma family, doing good deeds is of course important. Generosity, chaga, is of course important. Nobody denies that it is meritorious. However, we must also understand that if we are to perform a good deed because we want to have merits, we wish to have a return, we wish to have a return on our investment, then that is no longer merit. That is a business transaction. There is a beautiful Chan story about the Emperor Liang Wuti. The Emperor Liang Wuti was a very devout Buddhist emperor. He donated a lot of land to build monasteries. He, in fact, is the man who introduced vegetarianism into Mahayana practice in China. He did a lot of good, allowing people to be ordained as Sangha, allowing great monks to come to China to share, to teach. One such monk was the Venerable Bodhidharma. And when the Emperor Liang Wuti heard that Bodhidharma was coming, he invited him for an audience. So Bodhidharma went to meet the emperor and they had a conversation. I will only refer to the first question that they had. The emperor asked Bodhidharma, I have done so much, contributed so much, donated so much. What merits do I have? He asked Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma, without a moment's hesitation, replied, none whatsoever. This shocked the emperor utterly. Now, it was only much later, reputedly years later, that the emperor's own Buddhist teachers explained to him, when the emperor raised this up again, that Bodhidharma is in fact correct. The instant you had your 5 minutes of glory, your 5 minutes of self-centered gratification because you have done so much good, that return on your so-called meritorious act has been given back to you. And a genuine meritorious or wholesome act, chaga or dana, is done without any idea of what is my investment's return. So here, dear Dhamma family, I wish to point out to us that while we must do all the wholesome things that is within our capability, within our financial ability, within our intellectual and time-allowed constraints, we must not think of an I in this equation, of what do I get out of it. Because if you do, that's a business transaction. That's not a parami. Every time we prostrate in front of the Buddha image, remember, you too touch the earth. You too ask the earth to bear witness to all the good, all the wholesome things, all the dana, all the chaga, all the virtues, the sila that you had kept, all the cultivation that you had done. May your cultivation be fruitful. May it lead us all to the fruits, happiness of Nibbana. Thank you.